Morning, all of welcome back. I am Dr. Shikha. I have been taking your classes since yesterday and of corporate laws, BCom honors, paper number BCH 2.3. And we had covered a lot many topics yesterday. I started with unit 3 and just giving you a glimpse of what we had done. We started with company management, directors, legal position of the director, composition, maximum number of directorships, board of directors, different classification of directors, small shareholders directors, women directors, resident directors, deemed directors, etc., etc. Then we also spoke about the qualification and disqualification of directors, and then we came up to KMPs, that is key managerial personnels. We talked about powers of board and we talked about removal of directors, etc. Then we had also touched upon the company meetings, right? So company meetings, I had given you a glimpse of what are company meetings, are the different categories of company meetings which can take place, and we had discussed about a few. We started with board meetings, okay, and we discussed about the board meetings as well yesterday. And now today we are coming to general meetings. As you can see that general meetings here, I will just give you a glimpse, which is AGM, that is annual general meeting, and is extraordinary general meeting under section 96 and under section 100 respectively. And there are class meetings as the shareholders, for example, preference shareholders want to meet, and they are a different class of shareholders. So they can also meet, and they have certain provisions which basically is not, I'm actually going as per syllabus. So we will be concentrating on annual general meeting and extraordinary general meetings as of today. So coming back to the general meetings, we have to start with annual general meeting. I told you yesterday, I gave you a little glimpse of the meetings. Why do we need to meet? Why do shareholders need to meet? So basically, the thing is that shareholders are the basic owners of the company, and they are holding stake in the company. They are holding shares of the company, and the major decisions are to be taken with their approval, with their ratification. Okay, directors are the ones who are running the company, who are the administrative organ of the company, who are at the operational level, execution level. But the thing is that the major decisions are to be taken after ratification of the shareholders. That is, after agreement of the shareholders, they have to approve the decisions. So for that matter, there is a section 96, which provides that every company other than a one-person company, whether with share capital or without share capital, okay, whether limited or unlimited, but except one-person company must hold a meeting of its members each year. They have to hold a meeting of its members each year. Since it is to be annually held, it is called as annual general meeting. Yesterday, I got some requests from students to speak in Hindi also. I will try to be bilingual as much as possible. So, in case of annual meeting, every company except one-person company, they have to hold a meeting of their members every year annually. Okay, now please keep this in your mind when we are talking about every when we are talking about this every year, we are going to talk about two kinds of years here. One would be the calendar year and one is the financial year. Okay, calendar year is 1st January to 31st December and financial year is 1st April to 31st March of next year. So here we are assuming it is a calendar year as it is going to be held annually. Okay, so because there is nothing mentioned in the Companies Act regarding the year for this. Okay, in case the board fails to convene its annual general meeting, that means the board is a defaulter. They do not convene. Convene means call the annual general meeting in any year, and an application is made to the prescribed authority. Prescribed authority here would be the tribunal. Okay, in that case, there are tribunals, NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, and if any of the members or the shareholders make an application or approach to the tribunal, then the tribunal can directly call the AGM. Okay, or directly call the AGM, or can ask the directors to call the AGM at the earliest. Okay, so there could be a default that the directors are not calling the. Okay, now why do we don't need AGM in an OPC? What OPC is one-person company. So in case of an OPC, it shall be basically sufficient if the resolution is communicated. It is it's a one-person company. There are not many members in the company. So it shall be sufficient if the resolution is communicated and by the member to the company and entered in the minutes book. Now, what is minutes book? Minutes book where all the proceedings of the meeting are recorded. Okay, resolutions which are passed, they are recorded for reference in the future. You know, we have to know that what happened in the meeting. So proper maintenance of minutes book is compulsory. It is one of the requisites. Requisites means requirements of general meeting. Okay, general meeting comes from the when we are talking about general meeting, we generally are talking about the shareholders, okay, members of the company. Coming next, legal provisions regarding AGM. Now, this is very important. You have to understand it by heart. Okay, the first AGM. First annual general meeting of the company needs to be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. Please remember this. First general meeting of the company, it needs to be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. Okay, and the financial year closes on the 31st of March. Okay, for example, a company has been incorporated on 30th October 2019, that is 30 October 2019. उसका जो फर्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर है वो होगा 31st March 2020 को, right? Then it has to hold its first AGM till 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. इसका मतलब 31st March 2020 को अगर उसका फाइनेंशियल ईयर क्लोज हो रहा है और वो इनकॉर्पोरेट हुई थी 30 अक्टूबर 2019 को, तो इसका मतलब वो फर्स्ट एजीएम कब तक होल्ड कर सकते हैं? वो कंपनी फर्स्ट एजीएम 31 दिसंबर तक होल्ड कर सकती है, प्लस 9 मंथ्स कर लेंगे हम. तो इसका मतलब जब फर्स्ट एजीएम हुई, ओके, जब फर्स्ट एजीएम हुई, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, आई वुड गिव यू वन, आई डोंट नो वेयर इट इज, ओके, एनीवेज, इसका मतलब कि फर्स्ट एजीएम नवंबर में भी होल्ड हो सकती है. दैट मींस नवंबर 30th को, नवंबर 1st को. इसका मतलब 1 साल पूरा निकल गया. 30th अक्टूबर 2019 से अगर 30th अक्टूबर 2020 तक भी फर्स्ट एजीएम होल्ड नहीं होती तो इट इज ओके. दैट मीन्स इट शैल नॉट बी नेसेसरी फॉर द कंपनी to hold any annual general meeting in the year of its incorporation. Please understand what I am trying to say. I am trying to say that सिर्फ फर्स्ट एजीएम के लिए ये एक एक्सेप्शन होती है कि अगर एक कंपनी फॉर्म ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फर्स्ट एजीएम अपनी होल्ड करती है तो वो हो सकता है कि अपने पहले साल में पूरे वो फर्स्ट एजीएम होल्ड ना भी कर पाए. तो इट इज एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. ओके, नाउ कम्स subsequent AGM. Subsequent AGMs मतलब आगे की AGMs किस तरीके से hold होंगी. So now subsequent annual general meetings of the company should be held. अब first AGM तो हो गई, fine. Now subsequent annual general meetings should be held within 6 months from date of closing of the relevant. अब वो वाला clause नहीं है. It has to be within 6 months and it is necessary that annual general meeting should be held once in each calendar year. Please remember, now I am again and again telling you, you have to make sure when you are talking about financial year and when you are talking about calendar year, AGM has to be necessarily be held once in a calendar year. Okay, and the provisions we are doing is subject to financial year. Okay, calendar year पहली जनवरी 1 जनवरी से लेकर 31st of December, financial year 1st April से लेकर 31st March of next year. Okay, so you have to whenever you are revising the concepts of corporate laws, then you have to remember that this concept of year you have to keep in your mind. If you will write it differently, then it would be a wrong thing for your exam. गलत हो जाएगा वो एग्जामिनेशन में. तो आपको कैलेंडर ईयर याद रखना है, फाइनेंशियल ईयर याद रखना है कि वो कैसे कैसे हमने समझना है उस कॉन्सेप्ट को. Another aspect which has to be kept in mind for subsequent AGMs, the gap between two annual general meetings shall not exceed 15 months. Okay, you have to remember this. दो AGMs के बीच में जो गैप है वो 15 महीने से ज्यादा का नहीं हो सकता है. Okay, लेकिन there is an exception for special reasons. कुछ special reasons में रजिस्ट्रार में टाइम, लेकिन वो 3 महीने से ज्यादा का टाइम नहीं हो सकता. For special reasons, the registrar may extend the time, but not exceeding 3 months. Okay, but ये भी बहुत special reasons होते हैं. For example, there was some sort of fire in the company of a person, and then because of that he was not unable to hold. That company was unable to hold AGM. So this constituted a special reason. कि हाँ, this is a special reason. They are unable to hold the AGM. तो उनको 3 महीने का एक्स्ट्रा टाइम दे दिया गया. Okay, so you have to remember this. These are legal provisions regarding AGM. There are many more provisions regarding AGM which we are doing. Okay, just a second. Okay, now comes to power to convene an AGM. Generally, board of directors have they have the power to convene AGM. They are the proper authority to convene the AGM. Now, one thing you have to remember, like I just told you, but if board fails, who else has the power to convene the AGM? So in case the board fails, tribunal can also call the AGM in case of any application or complaint made by the member of the company. तो tribunal भी बुला सकता है AGM को, या फिर indirectly he can also, the tribunal can instruct the convene the AGM as soon as possible. अब आप देखेंगे that I have put something in blue color, right? You can see proper authority in blue color. You can see proper notice in blue color. What are these? Generally, a question appears in your examination, or for that matter, you have to know that what are the requisites of a valid general meeting? What are the requirements of a valid general meeting? एक general meeting को कब valid माना जाएगा? एक जनरल मीटिंग को तब वैलिड माना जाता है अगर ये सारे प्रॉपरली चीजें करी गई हों. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर इज अ प्रॉपर अथॉरिटी टू कन्वीन द AGM. अगर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने रैटिफाई नहीं किया है, रैटिफाई मीन्स अग्री नहीं किया है, और कुछ डायरेक्टर्स AGM को कन्वीन करने की कोशिश करते हैं या कन्वीन कर लेते हैं और बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स उसको रैटिफाई नहीं करता, at the end, then it would be considered as null and void. The AGM would be null and void. They cannot do so. So board of directors is the proper authority to convene an AGM. Now there has to be proper notice. Okay, this is very important. What is proper notice? I have written proper in front of everything, which is a requisite. Why? So that you may understand that this is another requisite to for a valid meeting. Proper notice, what does this mean? Proper notice means that a general meeting of a company may be called by giving not less than 21 days. 21 days, clear days notice, please remember. अब ये 21 क्लियर डेज का क्या मतलब है? इसके अंदर एक कॉन्सेप्ट है जो क्लियर मीन्स दैट इट हैज टू बी 4 एक्स्ट्रा डेज आर टू बी गिवन. जब हम नोटिस भेजते हैं तो हमने ऐसे नहीं करना कि अगर हमारी मीटिंग 21 जनवरी को शेड्यूल होनी है तो हम नोटिस भेज रहे हैं 31st ऑफ दिसंबर को. No, why? Because we have to take in consideration complete 25 days, which includes the day of the meet. That also has to be taken into consideration. The day on which the notice is deemed to be served, जिस दिन notice serve होगा, और 2 दिन transit के, मतलब 2 दिन तो जाने में लगेंगे, कोरियर भेजेंगे, उसको भी हमें कंसिडर करना है. उसके बाद एक दिन जिस दिन हम समझ रहे हैं कि नोटिस रिसीव होगा और एक दिन मीटिंग का, तो हमें इफेक्टिवली 25 दिन पहले नोटिस भेज देना होना चाहिए. लेकिन हम उसको क्या बोलते हैं, इन चीजों को हम कंसिडर जब हम एग्जाम्स में लिखेंगे तो हम लिखेंगे नॉट गिविंग नॉट लेस देन, बाय गिविंग नॉट लेस देन 21 क्लियर डेज नोटिस में, या थ्रू एनी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड एज प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. आजकल ईमेल, फैक्स, सब कुछ किया जा सकता है नोटिस. एंड in case of section 8 companies, again section 8 companies are those companies which are formed for charitable objects. Okay, they have the objects which are they are charitable institutions generally. उनके लिए 21 दिन के को छोड़कर 14 दिन का they have 14 days clear notice can be given instead of 21 days. Okay, now ये बहुत important concept है for proper notice needs to be given, okay, for AGM to be convened and to be called. Another aspect which you have to remember is that a shorter notice can also be given to call an AGM. Okay, a shorter notice मतलब 21 दिन से कम समय के लिए भी हम notice दे सकते हैं. Less than 21 days notice can also be given. Okay, how? For that purpose, this provision that if consent is given in writing or by electronic mode by not less than 95% of the members who are entitled to vote at such meeting. 95% of the members who are entitled to vote at such meeting should give in writing or obviously through digital mode like electronic mode ki yes we agree and you can give a shorter notice. And because why do you think a shorter notice needs the consent of 95% of the members? A shorter notice needs the consent of 95% of the members because the meeting is called for this purpose. In the meeting, voting has to be done. In the meeting, shareholders have to approve a lot of things. There is a proper agenda on which it is to be worked. So if members would not be there, तो फायदा ही क्या है मीटिंग का? तो मीटिंग को कन्वीन करने के लिए एक शॉर्टर नोटिस देने के लिए हमें 95% of the members who are entitled to vote, please remember this, who are entitled to vote at such meeting, their consent has to be taken in writing. Okay, now day, hour and place of AGM, section 96 subsection 2. Acha, cutting you in between, I would like to answer one query which had come yesterday कि क्या हमें sections याद करने जरूरी हैं? देखिए आप law के students हैं, corporate law पढ़ रहे हैं, commerce पढ़ रहे हैं, आप law पढ़ते हैं, तो it is always good to remember the sections. Okay, but everybody, sections can only be memorized when you are again and again encountering that particular topic. Okay, otherwise रोट मेमोराइजेशन मीन्स रट्टा मारना, इससे सेक्शंस में बहुत ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. अगर तो आपको सेक्शंस याद रहते हैं बहुत अच्छी बात है. अगर आपको सेक्शंस याद नहीं रहते हैं तो प्लीज एग्जाम्स में गलत सेक्शन लिखना गिव्स यू नेगेटिव मार्किंग. एक तरीके से एक गलत चीज हो जाती है. इट इज बेटर दैट इफ यू कैन मेमोराइज देम, गुड इनफ. And you will only be able to memorize the sections when you will be reading a lot. अगर आप लास्ट के 2 दिनों में बैठकर सेक्शंस को याद करने की कोशिश करोगे, then you will not be able to memorize the sections at all. Okay? गलत मत लिखना. अगर नहीं याद है तो बेशक सेक्शन ना लिखो, लेकिन अगर आपको याद है तब आप if you can write the proper section, it is good. If you do not remember the section, don't write a wrong section. Okay, don't be in ambiguity. Okay, so you have to remember this. Coming back to it, day, hour and place of AGM, section 96 subsection 2. Basically, AGM needs to be called during the business hours, that is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Day, it shouldn't be a national holiday. Okay. And place, it should be called at the registered office or at where the registered office of the company is situated, or at some other place within the city or the town or village where the registered office is located. So please remember these provisions. Now, this is another, see, in blue color, as I already told you, another requisite of a valid meeting: proper agenda. See, we have to give proper agenda, which has to be annexed with the notice. Whenever we are sending the notice, we have to tell them what are we going to do. In an AGM, generally ordinary business has to be resolved. Like the ordinary business. Ordinary business means these 4: consideration of the accounts, balance sheets, auditor's report, director's report. Okay, these things are to be considered in the AGM. Another, declaration of dividend. If the dividend is to be declared, it has to be declared in the AGM. Okay, the appointment of directors in place of those retiring, appointment of auditors, and fixation of their remuneration. So these 4 are the ordinary business which are to be dealt compulsorily in the AGM. Okay, any other business than these 4 is considered as special business. अगर हमें इनके अलावा कोई भी और ट्रांजैक्शन करनी हो एक AGM में, कोई भी और अप्रूवल्स लेने हो शेयर होल्डर से रिगार्डिंग एनी अदर एस्पेक्ट, इट इज द स्पेशल बिजनेस. ओके, अब अगर हम AGM में स्पेशल बिजनेस ला रहे हैं, देन वी हैव टू annex a statement along with the notice giving all material facts कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं. ये तो रेगुलर चीजें हैं जो हर AGM में होनी ही होनी है, लेकिन अगर कुछ भी स्पेशल बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्ट होने वाला है एक AGM में, then a statement has to be annexed giving all material facts. Okay, so please remember this. So there are 2 types of businesses which can be dealt with in an AGM. 2 types of business which can be transacted: ordinary business and special business. So ordinary business has these 4 and special business has rest of all other businesses. And if a special business has to be transacted, a statement has to be annexed giving all material facts so that people are well prepared with it. They are well prepared that, okay, this thing also is going to be there in the AGM. So we have to, then they can decide upon in advance. So all the material facts are to be given and annexed. Annexed माने उसके साथ लगाना, notice के पीछे एक statement देना कि हम ये भी business transact करेंगे इस particular AGM में. तो एक proper agenda देना बहुत जरूरी है. It is one of the requisites of a valid meeting. तो अभी तक हमने कितने requisites करे? See, we did proper authority, we did proper notice, we did proper agenda. Okay, then proper quorum, very important. This you should know. Quorum is what? First of all, quorum is the minimum number of members required to constitute a valid meeting. आपको कम से कम कितने members चाहिए होने चाहिए कि एक meeting valid मानी जाए? Okay, minimum number of members, right? To constitute a valid meeting. तो ये section 103 में दिया हुआ है of the New Companies Act 2013 और there are various the quorum differs in accordance with the number of members of the which the company has. Okay, so लेकिन अब एक इसके अंदर एक कैच है, वो क्या कि लेकिन आर्टिकल्स, अब कंपनीज एक्ट बताती है कि ये इतना कोरम होना चाहिए, अभी आई टेल यू व्हाट, बट आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन में एक हायर नंबर भी दिया जा सकता है. इट इज गुड, आप कम नहीं दे सकते क्योंकि वो मिनिमम है जो कंपनीज एक्ट ने दिया है. आर्टिकल्स कह सकता है कि नहीं, इससे ज्यादा लोग मौजूद होने चाहिए एक मीटिंग को स्टार्ट करने के लिए. दैट इज बेटर, द मोर द बेटर, राइट? So because there would be more wisdom, there would be more people to take decisions on a particular aspect, right? So in case of a public company, if in 5 members to be personally present, if the number of members as on the date of meeting is not more than 1000. अब इसके अंदर एक कैच है. What do you mean by personally present? पर्सनली प्रेजेंट मतलब वो खुद ओरिजिनल मेंबर्स होने चाहिए, उनके प्रॉक्सीज नहीं. ओके, इन पर्सन. प्रॉक्सी माने अ पर्सन हु इज अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ द ओरिजिनल मेंबर. ओके, ओरिजिनल शेयर होल्डर का कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव भेज दिया जा सकता है इफ द ओरिजिनल शेयर होल्डर इज अनेबल टू अटेंड द मीटिंग. ओके, सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट जिस कंपनी में 1000 से कम members हैं, not more than 1000, वहां पर at least 5 members personally present should be there to start a valid meeting. In case of companies where the members are between 1000 to 5000, okay, then 15 members personally present. Okay, और जहां पर 5000 से एक्सीड कर जाते हैं वहां पर 30 मेंबर्स पर्सनली प्रेजेंट. ये हम कब कर रहे हैं? इन केस ऑफ पब्लिक कंपनी. ओके, नाउ प्राइवेट कंपनी में एज सच देयर इज नो प्रोविजन फॉर these kind of intricate provisions. Only 2 members personally present shall be the quorum for a meeting. अब आई होप आप समझ पा रहे हैं कि पर्सनली प्रेजेंट का क्या मतलब है. इन पर्सन होना चाहिए, उसका कोई प्रॉक्सी नहीं या कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव नहीं होना चाहिए. अच्छा, सो दिस इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट फॉर valid, for constituting a valid meeting. Another one, now section 104 talks about chairman of meetings. So there has to be a proper chairman of the meeting. See, generally what happens, the members who are personally present at the meeting shall elect one of themselves to be the chairman on show of hands. Show of hands का मतलब है, show of hands एक voting का तरीका है जिसमें हम हाथ खड़ा करके we can ask for the we can decide upon something in accordance with the majority. तो generally क्या करते हैं, जो members personally present होते हैं they can elect chairman on the show of hands. लेकिन अगर poll demand हो जाए, you know, they can ask that there should be poll, कि हम ऐसे show of hands से नहीं, हम polling के through chairman elect करेंगे, तो वो भी किया जा सकता है. That can also be done through poll. अब you know this kind of polling, you know, it is always a better option. अभी हम करेंगे जब हम वोटिंग की बात करेंगे. It is a more proper and an effective means. इसमें you know each member has a right to vote in accordance with the number of shares held. तो पोल, अगर कोई पोल डिमांड कर ले, पोल कब डिमांड किया जा सकता है? सेक्शन 109 में, कि बिफोर द डिक्लेरेशन और ऑन द डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ रिजल्ट्स ऑफ शो ऑफ हैंड्स कभी भी पोल डिमांड की जा सकती है, और इट कुड बी डन, इट कुड बी सेड दैट जब तक पोल का रिजल्ट नहीं आ जाता तब तक जो चेयरमैन शो ऑफ से इलेक्ट हुआ था ये विल कंटिन्यू। लेकिन चेयरमैन होना, आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन अलग कहानी भी बोल सकता है। इट कैन से आर्टिकल्स ऑफ द कंपनी कैन प्रोवाइड फॉर अ परमानेंट चेयरमैन ऑफ द मीटिंग्स कि यही एक चेयरमैन रहेगा, एंड अदरवाइज द मेंबर्स पर्सनली प्रेजेंट कैन आल्सो इलेक्ट द चेयरमैन बाय शो ऑफ हैंड्स और बाय डिमांडिंग अ पोल। ठीक है, तो ध्यान रखना ये एक अलग requisite है एक valid meeting का। Now comes your minutes of, ये भी एक बहुत important requisite है एक valid meeting को constitute करने का। What does it say? कि जैसे मैंने अभी आपको पहले बताया था, एक written record है, it is a written record of the business transacted at a meeting, कि हमने क्या किया। एक AGM बुलाई, अगर हम कुछ recording नहीं करेंगे तो there would be no proof, आगे जाकर हम रेफरेंस कैसे लेंगे उसका। तो मिनट्स रेफर टू अ रिटन रिकॉर्ड ऑफ बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्टेड एट अ मीटिंग। तो सेक्शन 118 ये बोलता है कि एक कंपनी प्रिपेयर, साइन एंड कीप मिनट्स ऑफ प्रोसीडिंग्स ऑफ एवरी जनरल मीटिंग। कोई भी तरीके की जनरल मीटिंग हो, चाहे वो एजीएम हो, चाहे वो ईजीएम हो। ईजीएम में भी बहुत तरीके से मीटिंग्स होती हैं अलग अलग, कोई क्लास मीटिंग हो या कोई किसी भी तरीके की मीटिंग हो, उसके मिनट्स, एक ऑफिशियल रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट करना बहुत जरूरी है। और चेयरमैन के ऊपर इट इज चेयरमैन्स डिस्क्रिशन to in respect of what needs to be. Sometimes there are certain defamatory things which happens to a person, कोई irrelevant चीज, जैसे meetings हैं तो उसके अंदर there are difference in opinions of different people which may lead to some sort of people can speak absurd things. Generally meetings में होता है कि कुछ people get into some verbal fights and all. So चेयरमैन के पास एक राइट होता है फॉर inclusion or non-inclusion of certain matters which are defect for any person, which are detrimental to the interest of the company, तो वो उसको exclude कर सकता है। जो irrelevant चीजें हो that could be excluded from the minutes, but generally most of the things are recorded in proper manner. Okay. It is a kind of an evidence that the meeting had happened, and a fair and correct summary is given in that. So 6 things which we have to remember for a valid requisition of a meeting. एक proper meeting को call करने के लिए proper authority, proper notice, proper agenda, proper quorum, chairman of meetings and minutes of the meetings. You have to remember this by heart, and you have to remember each and every aspect. Now, in case there is no quorum, okay, if the quorum is not present within half an hour from the time appointed for of the company, then what happens? Within half an hour, then what happens? The meeting shall stand adjourned. Adjourned means usko next same day, next week, same time, same place तक adjourn कर दिया जाता है। या फिर कोई ऐसा टाइम, अगर कोई टाइम डिसाइडेड नहीं है बाय द बोर्ड, या तो बोर्ड कोई टाइम बता दे कि ये एजीएम एडजर्न हो रही है बिकॉज ऑफ द लैक ऑफ कोरम, तो हम इस समय अगले कुछ दिन का टाइम बता दे और हम वी विल बी कॉलिंग द एजीएम अगेन। टाइम नहीं बताता है, the timings are like next week, automatically by default the AGM moves on to next week, same time, same place. Okay, then लेकिन अभी हम एक टाइप की मीटिंग करेंगे जो requisitionist कॉल करते हैं। अभी I'll tell you what is it all about. अगर उसमें requisitionist मतलब स्पेशली कॉल की गई मीटिंग बाय द requisition मेंबर्स ने, स्पेशली मीटिंग एक कॉल करी है, एक EGM कॉल करी है, एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग, और वो कोरम नहीं बन पाता, तो वो मीटिंग कैंसिल हो जाएगी। ठीक है, अब ध्यान से मेरी बात सुनो, हम इसमें क्या कर रहे हैं, इसके अंदर हमें यहाँ पर AGM और EGM कर देना चाहिए था। देखो, मैं इसमें आपको क्या बता रही हूँ कि अगर तो AGM में कोई कोरम नहीं है तो क्या होगा, विद इन हाफ एन आवर देर इज नो कोरम, देन इट इज adjourned next week, same day, same time, same place, okay, or any other time and is determined by the board of directors. ठीक है, in case of the meeting which is being called by the requisitionist, this one by requisitionists themselves, okay, अगर ये मीटिंग एक EGM बुलाई जाती है तब क्या होगा, इन दैट केस कोरम नहीं है, उन्होंने खुद बुलाई और कोरम ही नहीं है, तब वो कैंसिल हो जाएगी, वो adjourn नहीं होगी। अब इफ adjourned मीटिंग में भी जो AGM है, adjourned मीटिंग में भी कोरम इज नॉट प्रेजेंट विद इन, एडजर्न मीटिंग में भी कोरम नहीं है, तो जितने लोग प्रेजेंट होंगे विद अ मिनिमम ऑफ 2, क्योंकि 2 लोग तो मीटिंग करेंगे ही एटलीस्ट, विद अ मिनिमम ऑफ 2, दोज विल कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द कोरम। तब हम फिर कोरम का इंतजार नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी एक बार लैक ऑफ कोरम की वजह से एक मीटिंग एडजर्न हो चुकी है, पोस्टपोन हो चुकी है, तो अब अगर एडजर्न मीटिंग में भी कोरम प्रेजेंट नहीं होती विद इन हाफ एन आवर, तो जितने मेंबर्स होंगे सब्जेक्ट टू अ मिनिमम ऑफ 2 will constitute the quorum. क्या आप जानते हैं कि there is a concept that even one member can have a quorum. This is an exception. When one member can have a quorum, when the tribunal calls an AGM. One member can also constitute a quorum when a tribunal calls an AGM. अगर section 97 के अंदर there is a default, there is a default in holding an AGM under section 97. Then the tribunal, जब tribunal को कोई member की application मिलती है या कोई complaint letter जाता है that the company has not called the AGM, then the tribunal can give directions as it deems fit, जैसे उसको ठीक लगेगा tribunal को, in regards to calling, holding, conducting of AGM, and with the directions that this AGM, if the quorum is not present, they can be, it would be a valid meeting if only one person is present. So this is an exception. आप लोग इसको कहीं पे you can just note down somewhere that section 97 के अंदर अगर ट्रिब्यूनल बोले तो तब एक मेंबर का भी quorum माना जा सकता है, but it has to be explicitly mentioned by the tribunal. ये tribunal को explicitly mention करना पड़ेगा that it may give such directions, और exactly हम इसमें क्या बोल सकते हैं, that including the direction that one member of the company present in person or by proxy, one member of the company present in person or proxy shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. तो section 97 के अंदर जब भी ट्रिब्यूनल कोई मीटिंग कॉल कर रहा है तब ये हो सकता है। Okay, this is an interesting point. You should all note it somewhere. Okay, now this is another aspect. Report on AGM. देखिए, prior to Companies Act 2013, 1956 की एक्ट में इसकी कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं थी. Okay, there was no requirement of a report on AGM क्योंकि हम already minutes of the meetings बनाते हैं. लेकिन in Companies Act, this new provision has been added in section 121, read with rules 31 of Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014, which deals with the report on AGM. Okay, इसके अंदर क्या है कि the report has to be prepared, this report has to be prepared extra. That means in addition to the minutes of the general meeting. It has to include the confirmation to the effect that the meeting was convened, held and conducted. क्या कहता है ये? अब minutes में तो हम proceedings डाल रहे हैं, we are putting the proceedings, what all happened, what all resolutions were passed, who all were present, and what all discussions were done, what all was resolved. तो minutes में ये चीजें होती हैं. Report is basically to confirm that a proper and valid meeting was called, in as per the provisions mentioned in the act and the rules. Proper वही जहां पर अभी मैं आपको कब से ये डिस्कस कर रही हूँ, प्रॉपर मीटिंग, प्रॉपर एवरीथिंग. सो requisites इन रिपोर्ट में एक्चुअली हमने यही बताना है कि हमने एक प्रॉपर मीटिंग कॉल की थी. ओके हमने सारे लॉज को फॉलो करते हुए, व्हाट ऑल प्रोविजंस वर गिवन अंडर द एक्ट एंड द रूल्स, हमने उन सबको फॉलो करते हुए मीटिंग कॉल की थी. अच्छा ये रूल्स का क्या है, मतलब मैं एक बार आप लोगों को बताना चाहती हूँ. मैंने देखा है बच्चे समझ नहीं पाते. बच्चे देखो, जहां पर भी आप एक्ट में कहीं पर पढ़ते हो एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, काफी जगह पर हम रट्टा तो लगा लेते हैं, लेकिन हमें पता होना चाहिए कि इसका क्या मतलब होता है. एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, प्रिस्क्राइब्ड कहाँ प्रिस्क्राइब्ड? रूल्स में प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. जो रूल्स बनते हैं उसके रूल्स बनाए जाएंगे, और जब रूल्स आएंगे उसके हिसाब से ये प्रोविजन फॉलो किया जाएगा. ओके तो जब भी जहां पर भी एज में भी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड हो, आप तो समझ लीजिए कि इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट रूल्स. ठीक, तो प्लीज कीप दिस इन योर माइंड व्हेनेवर यू आर रीडिंग कॉर्पोरेट लॉ. कोई किताब पढ़ रहे हो, या फिर मैंने आपको कल भी बताया था ICSI की वेबसाइट पर अपडेटेड होता है, इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज ऑफ इंडिया, उसकी वेबसाइट पे अपडेटेड कंपनीज एक्ट है, और उसमें हाइपरलिंक्स बने होते हैं. आप बहुत आसानी से हाइपरलिंक के थ्रू आप डायरेक्टली उस रूल को चेक कर सकते हो. आपको सब कुछ नीचे तक सब कुछ देखना नहीं पड़ेगा, एक एक चीज को नहीं, सीधा हाइपरलिंक पे क्लिक किया, आप डायरेक्टली रूल पे चले जाते हो. जब भी लॉ पर, वो लॉ को बहुत आसानी से इट कैन बी वेरी इजीली कॉम्प्रहेंडेड, तो आप देख सकते हैं उसको. ओके देन कम्स योर रिपोर्ट ऑन AGM. तो ये रिपोर्ट को हमको विद इन 30 days, AGM के खत्म होने के 30 दिन के अंदर अंदर वी हैव टू फाइल इट विद द रजिस्ट्रार. पेनल्टी, अगर इफ देयर इज अ नॉन कंप्लायंस, इफ देयर इज अ डिफॉल्ट in sending the report to the registrar, then company will be separately penalized, and every officer in default will be separately penalized. अलग पेनल्टीज होंगी. तो कंपनी 1 लाख रुपए, इन केस ऑफ कंटिन्यूइंग डिफॉल्ट 500 रुपए पर डे, मैक्सिमम टू 5 lakhs. ओके और एवरी ऑफिसर इन डिफॉल्ट, मतलब somebody would have been given the responsibility of making the report, then that person will be penalized with 25,000 rupees, fine of 25,000, and in case of continuing default 500 rupees per दिन, 500 rupees per day, subject to a maximum of 1 lakh. Okay, then comes your extraordinary general meeting. Okay, so when it comes to extraordinary general meeting, देखिए, sometimes you require to transact in case of urgency, in case of emergency, and we cannot wait till AGM to happen, because AGM is happening in annually. Okay, one AGM is happening annually, so and we cannot call that AGM. So in that case, to meet such urgencies and emergencies, the companies can provide for holding emergency meetings of the members, which is called as extraordinary general meeting. अगर कोई ऐसी चीज आ जाए जो बहुत जरूरी है ट्रांजैक्ट करना, और हम AGM तक डेफर नहीं कर सकते, उसको डेफर माने उसको तब तक हम उस चीज को डिले नहीं कर सकते, हमें इमीडिएटली या बहुत जल्दी अप्रूवल ऑफ द शेयर होल्डर्स चाहिए. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए वी हैव टू कॉल extraordinary general meeting. Okay, all general meetings other than AGM shall be called as extraordinary general meetings. सिर्फ AGM, that is annual general meeting, को AGM बोला जाता है. उसके अलावा जितनी भी general meetings का क्या मतलब होता है? जो शेयर होल्डर्स की, मेंबर्स की जो मीटिंग होती है, ओके, वो कोई भी मीटिंग हो उसको हम extraordinary general meetings का नाम दे देते हैं. अब एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग्स में जो भी ट्रांजैक्ट होता है उसको हम स्पेशल बिजनेस कहते हैं, क्योंकि एजीएम में तो ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्ट होता ही होता है. ओके, अब एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग में जो भी बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्ट होता है वी कॉल इट एज स्पेशल बिजनेस. ओके, who can convene EGM? So there are 4 ways and means of convening an EGM. Okay, सबसे पहले EGM comes under section, I missed out writing here, section 100 हमने वो पहले देखा था. AGM comes under section 96 and EGM comes under section 100 of the New Companies Act 2013. And who can convene an EGM? या तो by board of directors. Board of directors को जब लगे they can call an EGM and easily they can call an EGM and it shall be held at any place in India. कोई भी इसके अंदर कोई ऐसा restriction या prohibition नहीं है कि वो वहीं पे registered office की जगह ही होनी चाहिए. It can be called at any place in India. Okay. By the board suo motu, हमने motu, we had done it yesterday also. This means on its own, okay. The board can call the meeting on its own also. So you have to remember this, that it is, I just told you that it is not necessary that that an EGM needs to be held at the registered office. This was an amendment which was made in 2017. You should remember that. Then same 21 days clear notice needs to be given, and a shorter notice can also be given for the EGM to be called by the board. Then, by board of directors on requisition of shareholders. Okay. First is by board on its own. The board can call the meeting under section 100 subsection 1. Okay, on its own, they would want to transact an emergent transaction and they can call it on their own. But by board of directors on requisition of shareholders, this is under section 100 subsection 2. In this case, there is a point which has to be made clear, that an extraordinary general meeting on receipt of the requisition का मतलब request from the following number of members. अगर इन इतने shareholders की requisition आएगी तभी board on the requisition of members एक EGM call कर सकता है. Okay, अगर share capital वाली company है, if the company has share capital, that means publicly उसके shares हैं, या in the case of a company having share capital, members holding not less than 1/10 of such of the paid up share capital of the company. Okay, so you have to remember these. ये थोड़ा सा याद रखना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा memorize करना पड़ेगा, ये सारा कुछ, ये provisions याद करने पड़ते हैं. You have to remember it. So in case of EGM, which is to be called by the board only, ध्यान रखना दो different तरीके की EGMs हैं. एक, जब requisition दिया जाता है, shareholders requisite the request the board to call an EGM. Okay, उस केस में दो तरीके की चीजें याद रखनी है कि in the case of company having share capital 1/10 of such of the 1/10 of such of the paid up share capital of the company. In case of the company not having share capital, not less than 1/10 of the voting power of all the members. तो ये चीजें आपको थोड़ा सा याद रखना पड़ेगा. Okay. Okay. So the requisition needs to be, requisition माने application या request which has been made needs to be sent to the registrar, signed by the requisitionist, sent to the registered office of the company. It needs to be sent to the registered office of the company. And time period for calling the meeting, the board is required to proceed to call a meeting within 21 days from the date of receipt of valid requisition, which should be held within So these things you have to remember. ये थोड़े से days, dates के नाम, ये जो days हैं, number of days, you have to keep this in your mind. So to convene a meeting which should be held within 45 days of such deposit of the requisition. Proceed to call a meeting within 21 days from the date of receipt of valid requisition. Proceed to call a meeting मतलब doing preparations to call a meeting. उनको 21 दिन के अंदर अंदर प्रिपरेशन शुरू कर देनी होनी चाहिए. 21 दिन किसके 21 दिन? रिसीविंग ऑफ अ वैलिड रिक्वेस्ट. शेयर होल्डर्स एक वैलिड रिक्वेस्ट देते हैं डायरेक्टर्स को. एक वैलिड रिक्वेस्ट हुई, अगर वो वैलिड रिक्वेस्ट वो कब होगी? अगर वो ये प्रोविजंस फॉलो करेगी कि 1/10 अगर शेयर कैपिटल वाली कंपनी है तो नॉट लेस देन 1/10 ऑफ सच ऑफ द पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ द कंपनी, मेंबर्स होल्डिंग नॉट लेस देन 1/10 of the such paid up share capital. और अगर शेयर कैपिटल वाली कंपनी नहीं है तो not less than 1/10 of the total voting power of all the members. ये हमारे requisition को valid बनाएगी. अगर इससे कम members request भेजेंगे तो वो invalidate हो जाएगी. Okay, invalid requisition मानी जाएगी. तो जैसे ही valid requisition पहुंचती है बोर्ड के पास, उनको 21 दिन के अंदर अंदर they have to start with the preparations of calling a meeting. और 45 दिन तक they have to call, they have to convene a meeting. So please remember this. Please don't get confused. ये 21 दिन, या whenever you are reading law, whenever you are trying to interpret law, there is a suggestion from my side. I always give it to my students that whenever you are trying to interpret law, read it very slowly. Don't try to just read it like the way you read a literature. Okay? Read it very slowly so that it is getting inside your mind. It takes time to interpret the law because there are so many intricacies. There are so many tiny bits of things that they need to be taken into consideration to interpret a law. So always read it very